Hello, can anyone hear me? Hello, hello, can anyone hear me? Hello, hello, can anyone hear me? Hello, yes, can you send a thumbs up sign if you're able to hear me? Okay, yeah, okay, so I'll start the session. I'll introduce myself in 5 to 10 minutes. So, my name is Sakshi Chandel, and I have completed my BE in Computer Science from LNCT Bhopal, and I was a part of placement drive in 2019. So I'll be sharing my experience with you. So basically, yes. So I'll be share my experience with you. So I was part of a placement drive in 2019. So yes, so I'll tell you my experience that how many companies I've been interviewed with, and I'll be telling my interview that how I'll be telling my experience that how was my placement drive in 2019. So I'll start with three exams that I have took, that three coding exams which I've taken. So I'll start with I've started preparing for the interviews, and I've started preparing for the coding rounds from my second year of graduation. So that doesn't mean that I'm saying that you should prepare before you should prepare from second year of graduation. I'm telling that this is my story, and I've started from second year of graduation, and after that I got a chance to sit in Code Vita coding round, which is hosted by TCS. So it was an event in which we have different coding questions, and we need to complete it within 3 hours or 2 hours, which is told by them. So I completed the code vita first round, and then after I was selected for the code vita second round. So code vita first round was bit easy and bit simple than that basic three coding questions, and then you will be selected for the second round. And in the second round, what you need to do is, in the second round there will be a interview question, and based on the interview question you will be selected for 3.5 package, and you will be selected for 7 LPA package. So I was fortunate enough to be selected for 3.5 and 3.6 LPA, and then after we need to have this English communication and one more exams. For that 7 LPA, I was selected for that round also, but unfortunately I was not able to give that exam because of my some family problems and something. So I was not able to I wasn't able to give that 7 LPA one round. So apart from that, this is my experience for Code Vita. So, I'll be talking about the questions now. So Code Vita first round questions were a bit easy, like you do in Code Chef and like you do in HackerRank, right? So I hope many of you have been participating in HackerRank, Code Chef, like these stuffs, right? So can you comment that are you all active in HackerRank and Code Chef, because they are very useful for these coding rounds? And have you heard about Code Vita? Can you comment on, so that I'll be able to read that what are the updates from you? Like, are you following these HackerRank or Code Chef? Yes. Can you comment? Yes, I can see that there are no comments based on this HackerRank and Code Vita. Okay. So it's very good that you have been participating in this Code Chef and HackerRank. So these, if you see these platforms are the basic platforms in which you learn how to code, right? So these are very important platforms for everybody who want to participate in Code Chef, or let's say like who want to participate in Code Vita, or who want to participate in this Hack with Infi, right? Yes. So I have one more question, that do you know about Code Vita? Yes. So this Code Vita is a exam that is hosted by yes, so which is hosted by TCS, so that they can extract the brilliant of the minds from the country. So yeah, so the first, I'll tell about the first round of Code Vita. It was bit easy. Like if you participate, if you have if you have participated in Hacker Rank, or let's say Code Chef, you will be able to do like most of the questions of it. And after that, for the second round, you should prepare for basic English communication skills and higher level of coding. For example, you need to know that what is cloud, what is artificial intelligence. You should know the basics of it. Okay, so that will be useful for Code Vita round. Second, yes, so I have seen that one person has commented about Hacker Earth. Yes, so Hacker Earth is also very useful. Hacker Earth, in Hacker Earth, you can solve the coding questions also, and also uh, you get the chance to do the professional coding. For example, you will be given some task. You will be giving some professional task. For example, how the company is going to give you the task, right? So you get the questions based on that, and then you have to submit that. So Hacker Earth is also very useful. And second thing, I'll be telling you about Hack with Infi. So Hack with Infi basically is the platform. For example, Code Vita is for TCS, right? So similarly, Infosys also host one coding session, a coding round for the country, so that they can pick the brilliance of the minds from the country. So Hack with Infi is basically we have 3 rounds in Hack with Infi. So I'll come to the first round. So I was fortunate enough to give 2 rounds of Hack with Infi. I'll come to the rounds one by one. So I'll talk about the round first one. So basically, round one of Hack with Infi was a bit easy. You will be given 3 questions, and on the 3 questions you need to solve. If you have basic idea that how to solve the questions in Hacker Rank, that should be enough. You will be able to do that if you are participating in this Hacker Rank. So the 3 questions will be related to Hacker Rank only. You need to pass. The more number of test cases you pass, the more chances you will be for the second round. Okay, so the second round, basically, I got the result and I was selected for the second round. I have completed, out of the 3 questions, I have completed 2 questions and half of the third question. Half of the third question means I have passed some of the test cases of the third question. Okay, so I have completed. I was able to complete the first round, and then after I was selected for the second round. So first round was not monitored. There was no camera involved in the first round of Hack with Infi. But if I talk about the second round of Hack with Infi, it was monitored and there was a camera involved. So you can't cheat, or you can't see questions, or you can't see questions in the Google, or you can't Google it, or you can't find answers, right? So you need to be very careful when you're giving the second round. Or if I'm not wrong, the first round was also monitored. I'm not sure. I didn't remember much, but yeah, both of the rounds were monitored. So it's better that you participate in with full concentration, and you need to participate in this Hacker Rank and Code Chef to have an idea that how will be the questions in this Hack with Infi. So first round was completed, second round was completed. So after the second round, they need to select 100 people throughout the country. So I was unfortunate that I was not selected for the round 3 of Hack with Infi. So after the round second, what is done? After the round 2, there was an interview round in which they took the interview of around 500 to 600 people throughout the country, and they have given designated roles. So I was given a chance to give an interview at Manet Bhopal. So the Infosys panel visited Manit Bhopal for the interview round, and I went there and I gave my interview there. And then like the questions were based on this DBS and like DBMS. If you see that basic DBMS questions and then basic algorithm questions, they asked me, and I was selected. Yes, so I was selected for this hack with Infi, and then I got a role of system engineer there. And then after that, yes, so this was my experience for hack with Infi. So do you have any questions regarding this hack with Infi or Code Vita? That any query related to that Code Vita or hack with Infi, so that I can proceed with other rounds that I have I have participated in. So any questions related to hack with Infi, or any questions or any doubts related to Code Vita? Okay, so I have one more I have one question from Arpan Sahu. Hi Arpan. So your question is, what were the algorithm questions in Hack with Infi interview? Okay, so algorithm questions, for example, I don't remember much the questions Hack with Infi. So you can yeah, it's pretty obvious that it's 1 year ago, but yeah, I'll be definitely telling you the algorithm. Like similar algorithms that I've used. So basically, you need to follow that all the sorry, if you're following that hacker rank, you must be seeing the questions related to some things. For example, you have been so you will be giving one situation, and based on the situation you need to complete the task. So if the algorithm based on the algorithm, for example, if you have solved that knapsack algorithm, or for example you have solved the basic. Yes. So if you have participated and you have seen the basic situation questions which are asked in HackerRank, you will be easily able to crack the Hack with Infi first round. Okay, so the same questions that are asked in HackerRank, like the situation that, for example, you'll be giving one situation. For example, you will be asked to count the number of leaves on the tree. They'll be giving such situation, and based on the situation, you will be asked to count the number of leaves in the tree. So similar questions were asked in Hack with Infi round first. Okay, so I have one more question from Gaurav Agrawal. Hi Gaurav. So when Code Vita was conducted, what were the eligibility criteria? Yes. So it was conducted. So basic eligibility criteria was, I think, was 60%, or not more than that. 55 or 60% was the criteria. And if I could remember, most of the people were selected for round one, and there was not such high eligibility criteria. Yes. So second question, the third question is from Shreyansh Gupta. Hi Shreyansh. So what type of question you practice on Hacker Rank as a beginner? Okay, so Hacker Rank, if you solve you need to solve this algorithm question. If you see that we have different sections in the Hacker Rank, right? So we have this badges. For example, we have the silver badge. You have the bronze medal. Then you have the silver medal, and then you have the gold medal. So if I could remember, I have completed silver medal in the Hacker Rank. So if you have completed, I mean, I'm saying that you need to participate. You don't focus on that what are the questions asked in Hack with Infi or Code Vita. You need to focus on that, how you need to solve the questions. So if you're practicing HackerRank enough, you will be able to complete the round one, at least round one of Code Vita, and round one of Code Vita, and round one of Hack with Infi. So you need to focus on the strategy, on how you solve the Hack with Infi, and how you solve these basic questions in HackerRank. So if you're solving this, that must be enough. And the next question is from Shubham Dalal. Hi Shubham. So let us some more about Hack with Infi second round and interview round, means from which area they ask more questions. Okay. So I'll be so I'll be telling about the Hack with Infi round 2. So basically Hack with Infi round 2 was monitored. So you need to have a laptop in which you have a webcam. You can give the exams at your home. And the basic, we have 3 questions. First question, you will be giving the basic scenario that this is the This is the scenario. For example, if I'm giving you the examples, for example, there is a tree, and you will be asked to count the number of trees, and there will be some criteria that these are the situations, and based on the situations, you need to count the trees. So basic algorithm you can use. If you're not, I haven't applied any algorithm much. I basically focused on that how the problem could be solved. So you just need to focus on that how the problem could be solved, and then later on you can think about the algorithm. If you have completed this algorithm, or if you can see that you have completed this DS, that data structure part, very efficiently, then you won't be facing any problem. So first you need to focus on that how the problem could be solved. It could be a mathematical problem, it could be any algorithm based problem, right? So you first focus on that how the problem can be solved. You should create a test cases, or you should create a criteria, and you should create your own sample test cases, so that based on the sample cases you can solve the question. So basically these are basic questions related to mathematical algorithms, okay? And yes, so interview after the second round, there was an interview in Manit Bhopal. So it was a basic interview in which they asked about they asked about my SQL queries, and they asked about my experience at how. So basically I had completed before the interview, I have completed one internship in Bangalore. So I participated in one internship program, and I was fortunate enough to get one. I'll be telling that in the uh, upcoming minutes, okay? So yes, so we have one more question from Upanshu Kumar. What is the cutoff for Hack with Infi round one? Yes. So Hack with Infi round one, since many of the people are being participated in Hack with Infi round one, right? So basic, for example, we have 3 questions in Hack with Infi. So at least you need to complete two questions at least. I'm talking about. So yes, you need to complete 2 out of 3. So I have one more question from Sarthak Agarwal. Hi Sarthak. So the question is, do I need to have complete command and dynamic programming questions for Hack with Infi round 2? Yes. So as for example, I'll give you my experience. I haven't I have an idea of dynamic programming questions, but in Hack with Infi, they weren't questions related to dynamic programming, but you should know about dynamic programming, because you never know uh, how the questions are coming, okay? Yes. So the one more question is Himanshu Raj. So the question is, hi Himanshu, topics to focus on for Code Beta round one. Yes. So the topics, there are no as such topics for Code Beta round one. They are basic coding questions. So if you are practicing the Hacker Rank, or if you're practicing in Code Chef, that must be enough. Yes, so I have one more question from Pranshu Jaiswal. So, what is the level of question? So, yes, the level of question is nominal for round one. It is not that much if you're practicing Hacker Rank. I'm repeating this again and again. Sorry for that. But yes, if you practice, the more you should focus more on Hacker Rank and Code Chef for the round one of both Code Beta and Hack with Infi. So, yeah, hi Nitin. I have one. Yeah, so you have the question. Uh, Yes, so you have the question. Tell us some about Infi. Yes, so Infi means Hack with Infi. Yes, so I've already told that Hack with Infi, basically we have 3 rounds. First round is basic coding round. Second round is coding round also. After the second round, we have this interview session. And the third round we have this, I was not fortunate enough to go to the third round. So yeah, I can tell you about the second round. Yes. So Saurabh Patel, hi Saurabh. So what are the topics to focus on Hack with Infi round 2? Yes, so there are not as such any topic. You should practice more on Hack with Hacker Rank and Hacker Earth and Code Chef. There is no topic as such. I can't say that this is the topic that you should prepare so that the questions will come on this topic. No. So you need to practice more and more on Hacker Rank. For example, if I can say, I have been practicing for Hacker, like I've been practicing in Hacker Rank from my second year of graduation. Okay, so I have given my 2 years of time in Hacker Rank and code with this Code Beta. So I'm not saying that 2 years are you need to give 2 years for this round, but I'm saying that you need to practice more and more. Yes. So yes, Gaurav, hi, Shreyansh, thank you. Gaurav Agrawal, yes, I can see the question. So the question is, what was your projects and on which technology? Yes. So I'll be telling you about my experience, and I'll be telling you my experience at what was my experience before my experience in this placement drive. So when my third year was completed, I was in third year, or I was completing my third year. I was equally looking onto opportunities for internship or something in internshala, or if you see this angel list, if you're the angel list is very angel list is very uh, popular that time, so I applied for that. I have participated in a smart city hackathon. If you got a chance, you should participate in smart city hackathon. And based on the project, I completed one project that was based on IoT. It was related to meter reading. For example, we have a devices in our home, right? We have energy meter. So based on that, we need to calculate the pulses of the energy meter, and based on that, we need to check that how many energy has been consumed. So we were focusing on that energy meter. For example, nowadays if you see, people come and they take the reading manually, right? So we were onto that automated a version of that smart meter. So this was my project, and based on the project and my experience, I got a chance to do an internship in Capital Float. You can apply in Capital Float. The website is www.capitalfloat.com. You can apply there in the career section, and you can apply that you want to. I participated as a Java developer there, and I was an intern there. I got a chance, 3 month chance of 3 month internship there, and yes. So, yes. So my project was related to IoT, and technology was Java. Yeah, technology was IoT and Java. Yes. So I have a question from Arpan Sahu. So he's asking, internships are necessary. Without it, is there any difficulties in getting placed? So internships are necessary. No, it's not compulsory, but you should apply for at least, for example, if I could remember, I have applied at least 200 to 500 companies. I have prepared my resume, and I have uploaded my resume in around like 200 to 500 startups. And then after, I got a chance to get an internship in Capital Flow that is based in Bangalore. So it's not necessary that you should do an internship, but what internship provide you, they, for example, if you do the internship, you will get the basic idea, and you are for selecting yeah, so it's better, you have better chances to get selected in the interviews. Yes, so it's not mandatory, but I recommend that you should try. At least you should post your resumes to startups, at least the startups, so that, because uh, like if you apply in MNCs, there are not any chances, because as a fresher you won't get any chances. But yes, in startups and nimble startups you can apply. So it's not necessary, but you should apply. Yes. So I have one question from Himanshu Raj. Please guide about IT projects required for placements. Yes. So I'll yes. So IT projects. So IT projects, for example, yes. So IT projects, for example, I completed my project in I that was a IoT based project, right? So for example, I would recommend that, for example, if you go to the hacker rank, right? So there will be many questions based on that. For example, you can take any questions. You can create any you can take any question from Hacker Earth, and based on the question, you should pick up one technology that you have command in. For example, I have a command in Java, so I completed all the projects in Java. Okay, so IT project you will be getting in Hacker Earth. So I would recommend that more the projects you will complete, more you will have a chance to get placed in the interviews. Okay, so it's not mandatory, but I would recommend that you should be able to make projects. So I have one question from Deep Kulhare. She's asking, ma'am, if the project is made on the concept of IoT, would the panel ask questions on other aspects of IoT also? Yes, they can ask, but if you're confident enough that how the project is being made, and you can tell them that you have googled it online, and you have been able to do it by googling or something, so they won't be questioning enough. But yes, you should know that if you're doing some project, you should know in depth, like you should know the questions and you should know the concepts based on that. Yes. Yes, so I'll be telling you my experience that, yeah, in the third year I have completed one internship in Bangalore. Yes, and then after I sat in the placement drive, I was fortunate enough to complete this Code Vita round first and round two, and then I completed Hack with Infi round one and round two, and then after I'll tell you my experience for. Yes, so one more question. Prince Jai is asking, is IoT project enough for placement? Yes, so I can't really guarantee you that is it enough for placement, but I would say that if you have one project in hand that you have participated and you know that how you have completed the project, your chances of being placed is high. Definitely, you should go for place. You should go for projects, and you should make projects, and you should give time that how the project is being made. Okay, you should pick one technology and you should start making the project. And also you have time right now, so I would recommend that you guys can apply in the startups, nimble startups, or any startups. You should apply for internship, and you should get some idea that how the projects and how the work is to be done in IT companies. Yes. Yes, so if you have any questions, you can ask in the comment section. And since, yes, then I'll be telling you about my experience in, yes. So I have one more question from Abhishek Singh Shah. Hi Abhishek, so from where I can learn data structures? Yes, so data structure, if I could remember, I have um, data structure, yes. So data structures, I've participated in HackerRank only. HackerRank and CodeChef provides much useful questions. Means HackerRank and CodeChef are enough. And if you want to learn data structures, we have various books available in library. That LNCT library is enough. Like the books, you if you have get any book from LNCT library, that is enough. So you should know that like language, like if you see the theory knowledge is one side, you should give your time that how the questions are being solved based on that algorithms, or based on that algorithm. So I would recommend more questions. You should practice more, and then you should learn about this theoretical things. And yes, Adarsh Kumar is saying, ma'am, how many projects we should mention in our resume? Yes, so I would say projects, you should mention at least 2 projects. Okay, and you should, like, if you're making any project, make sure that you are making by yourself. You're not copying something from the website or something. You can take an idea from Google that how to solve the questions. But if you're making any project, you should know in-depth things about that project. Okay, and I would say that you should make at least 1 to 2 project, and you should mention that. And yes, so we have question from Sahil Sharma. He's asking, when you applied for the internships, what was your skill set and how good were you in that particular technology? Okay, so as I already have mentioned that I started my this coding journey from second year of graduation. So basically, I participated in Smart City Hackathon. So I made one basic IoT project that was based on Java and IoT. So, and then after I have skills in Java, I have in-depth knowledge in Java. So because I like I started my coachings in Sharma classes. If you know, in Bhopal we have this famous Sharma classes, right? So yeah, because of that course, I mastered in Java, and then based on the Java, I got a chance to interview with Capital Float, which is Bangalore based. So I have mentioned one project and one specialization. For example, I had my specialization in Java, so I mentioned that. And based on the role, because in Capital Float they were asking for Java interns, so I got a chance to get to do an internship there. Okay, so you should pick one specialization and you should make one project in that specialization or technology, and then you should apply for companies asking for that role. Okay, so I have one more question from Dolly. So she's asking how I get command on algorithm. So how you get command and algorithm is bit simple. You should practice on HackerRank. We have a section called algorithm. Solve as many questions you can from that particular section in HackerRank. HackerRank, CodeChef, and HackerEarth. These three sites you should practice. So we have one more question from yes. So the question is data structure mandatory for placement? Yeah. So I would say it's not anything like nothing is mandatory, but you should know about data structure because it's the basic subject for computer science, right? So you should know that what is data structure, what are the algorithms there. You should know the basics of that. Okay. So yes, so I have one more question from Shubham Kumar. He's asking, Spring framework is compulsory for Java developer? Yes. So I would say it's not compulsory, but I have an idea of Spring framework, and I'm working in Techolution, which is Hyderabad based. So we are working on this we are working on the Spring framework. So if you have an idea in Spring framework, right, it's better for you because if you get a chance, for example, definitely most of the people will be placed, definitely. So if you're placed and you're working in such MNCs or startup, right, Spring framework is very much used. So it's nothing is in vain. If you have learned one technology and you have learned one framework, nothing should be in vain. So yeah, one more question from Shubham Patak. Is data structure important if I am from ECE branch and I have to get placed in IT sector? So yeah, Shubham, you're in EC department, right? So EC department, yes. So most of my friends who were there in EC department and they were got placed. So they have like they have an idea of data structure, that what was data structure and what was basic. Like you should take idea of the subjects that are CS based. Okay. Yes. So yeah, I have one more question from Gaurav. He's asking, have you participated in the campus placement drives of college? How was your experience? Okay, so I'll be coming on to that question. So he's asking that what was the placement drive and have you participated in that? Yes. So I got a chance to sit in the drive in the company called Tech Systems. So it was the first company that came in our college. So I was fortunate enough to complete that round. So it was we have 3 rounds there. Yes, so we have 3 rounds there in Tech Systems. So first round was basic aptitude round. I completed the aptitude round, and then after the second round was based on then the second round was technical round. In the technical round, they ask you that like you should mention the latest technologies you're working on. So for example, I mentioned Java. So there was one panel, he asked everything about my Java. For example, we have this garbage collector, we have this if I could remember, garbage collector, we have this object oriented programming, we have this encapsulation, we have this inheritance, we have this multiple inheritance, we have this interface. Everything you should know about Java if you're mentioning Java. Okay. So after that this technical round was completed, and then after we have this group GD round was there. In the group discussion, we have this basic group discussion. You should be very crisp and clear about the topic which you are telling about, and you should take a stand. You should talk about the question or the topic you have been given. Okay. So after the GD round, we have this HR round. HR round was a bit simple. They'll be asking about it, what are your what do you want to achieve in life, and basic questions about your life. So this was my experience in Tech Systems interview round. So after that, I have yes. So I completed my Tech Systems round. So I was one of the six people who got a chance to got the chance to get placed in Tech Systems. And then after Tech Systems, yes, so Tech Systems gave me one opportunity also. They gave me yes, Yes, so I'll be taking the question. So Sahil Sharma is asking, what is the current technology that you can recommend us? So yes, so I'll be telling that I have I have a command in Java, and I'm not limiting myself to Java only. I'm learning JavaScript, I'm learning Python. So I would recommend, if the current scenario is being seen, JavaScript, I would recommend JavaScript much. And I have one question from Geet Nagpal. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Satyam Kumar. He's saying that how to prepare for aptitude. How to prepare for aptitude? If I could remember, I took some aptitude in Geek for Geeks. So I would recommend most of the people for Geeks for Geeks, because it is the best site if you want to prepare for placement. Yes. So Shyansh Gupta is asking, is coding BAT is also a good option for coding practice, ma'am? For coding BAT, we have to write only logic, not full code. Yes, coding any site, if you see, coding BAT is also good. Interview Bit is also good. If I could remember this, every site you should participate. And if you see, Hack with Infi, for Hack with Infi, I can say it was all based on HackerRank. Okay, so if you're participating in coding, that is also nice. Any coding platform you're participating is good. Yes, Dolly, yeah. So she's asking, any online site for learning aptitude? Yes, one online site I can recommend, it's Geek for Geeks. Yes. So yes, so I'll be telling you about I've already told my tech systems experience. Then after I sat for yes, Tanish is asking, do companies prefer students of Java and C++ over Python? Well, I won't say that companies prefer students of Java and C++ over Python. So there is no such criteria that Java and C++ people will be recommended over Python. If you know Python, you will be selected, no worries. But you should know everything about Python. Yes, so Sanskar is asking, is JavaScript's which stack will you recommend, Mean or Moon? Yes, so Mean stack, for example, if you're talking about Angular, right? So Mean Angular is involved, in Moon React is involved, right? So I would recommend, personally, if you're asking me, I would recommend React.js. Okay, because if I see right now, many of my people, many of my colleagues are working in React.js. Okay, so I would recommend that over Angular. So Muskan Sahu is asking, any online site for learning DS, data structure? Okay, so as I've mentioned, Geeks for Geeks is for aptitude, DS and everything. Okay, so you should follow Geeks for Geeks. Yes, so Santosh is asking, difference between equals to and triple equals to. So if you know, double equals have some limitations. Double equal compare the objects, and triple equal compares the object and also the value. For example, it checks the data type also. Okay, so we have one more question in Adarsh Kumar Singh. He is asking, ma'am, guide how to clear technical round. Okay, sorry. Yes, so technical round, for example, technical round is all about what you have mentioned in your resume. Okay, so for example, if you have mentioned Java, you should know basic concepts of Java: OOPS concept, inheritance, interface, how overriding is being performed, how overloading is being done in Java. Okay, so you should know the basics of it. And apart from that, if you're mentioning any project, you should know 100% about that project. Okay, so that's about the technical round, is based on what you mentioned in the resume. Okay, sorry. So Sarthak Agrawal is asking, can you suggest any good course or website for learning Android development? So hi Sarthak, so any good course or website for learning Android development? So I could remember that for the Android development, I haven't done that Android development, but if you want to learn, we have this Udemy courses. We have this Udemy courses. If I could see that Udemy courses are one of the best, and Coursera courses are also good. So I would recommend Udemy courses. Okay. So yeah, we have this question from Gaurav Agrawal. He is asking tips for making good resume. Okay, so tips for making good resume is that the resume should be basic. For example, you're the fresher, right? So it should be a basic resume. You should mention more about your technology skills. You should focus more about your skills, that how many projects you have participated in, and you should mention your hobbies. You should mention your extracurricular activities, how many things you have, like for example you have participated in any activities in college or during your school. You should mention that. Okay, so making a good resume, you should mention, for example, you should mention things you're 100% sure about. That's the only tip for a good resume. Okay, so yes, after the tech systems, yes, I'll be continuing my interview round. So after that tech systems, I got a chance to sit in. So since I was placed in first day only, I got a chance to. I was then asked to give interview rounds for Amazon visited our campus. So my experience in Amazon was good. So the Amazon questions, if I ask about, they were bit on algorithms. You need to know throughout about the algorithms, that how you can for example, you should focus more on about that how easily you can with less complexity you can complete the problem. Okay, so Sanskar is asking, how is your life about placement and how is the work culture at your company? Okay, so this question, my life is pretty good about placement. It's a very good feeling that you are being placed and you are getting chance to get worked in a big company or startup or the nimble startup. So because of my family issues and something, I completed my internship in tech systems, and then I didn't I got a PP also there in tech systems, but I was because of my grandmother died during that time, so I was not able to take up that call in that company. So I applied via LinkedIn in one startup called Techlution, which I'm currently working. So the company is basically working on that IoT projects, and I'm completely a part of one project called Mauritius Telecom, and I'm a backend developer there. So my task is to complete the REST APIs based on Java, and we need to deploy that in the cloud. Okay, so the work culture is pretty good at my company, and I'm really enjoying. Yes, so apart from this DS or algorithms, or if you could remember this DBMS OS, you should practice more upon technology also. For example, you can take up more courses on, for example, these courses. For example, you should know the basics first, the data structures, OS and DBMS, and if you have mastered these subjects, then I would recommend, then you should go for courses like you can take a courses on cloud, because it's a very much in demand. You can do the courses in AWS, because I would recommend AWS much over this GCP cloud. So you can give the courses on this. You can complete one certification in AWS. You can complete the associate certification. You can participate in Google Cloud platform they have. So you can complete the courses based on this data analytics. You can complete the course of machine learning, artificial intelligence. But I would recommend these courses just after you are sure that you have this basic understanding of data structure, OS and DBMS. Yes. Muskan, hi Muskan. So you're asking where you learn IoT. Okay, so IoT we haven't learned much, because we have one subject in we have basic subjects of EC in our syllabus, in our CSE syllabus. So we have googled it, everything. If you want to learn about anything, we have googled it, and because we have selected one project in which IoT was involved. Every help we took from our professors, also from our college only. They have taught us about IoT, that how to complete the projects in IoT, and also we have took help from Google, that how to solve the problems. We have bought the equipments. We have then practiced that how the wiring is being done in IoT systems, and then we have various things we have done ourselves only by googling it. Okay, So there's not much we can do, as we are in third or fourth year of placement, third or fourth year of graduation. So what we can do is we can Google it, we can take help from professors around, and they will guide you. Okay. So Arpan Sahu, he's asking, in written exams for placement, show how much percentage of aptitude questions come in test. Okay. So I couldn't really comment on that how much percentage of aptitude questions come, but yes, if I could remember, percentage questions were there in aptitude questions. Okay, so you should prepare for that, because if I could remember, there were questions from this topic. Okay. Yes, so Sahil Sharma is asking, do you recommend startup over any other company, and what's different with respect to the environment in startups? Okay, so yes, so it's not, for example, if I could tell my scenario, I got a PPO in Tech Systems. I won't say that Tech Systems is not good, that I haven't selected Tech Systems because it's not a good company. It's not that true. Tech Systems is one of the best companies in the world, but since some of the situations didn't went good from my personal background. For example, I was there at my grandmother's home, and my grandmother died during that period, and I didn't got a chance to, because the drive was starting in August or something like that. So I was not able to attend that, and I was not able to join that company. But yes, I have completed my internship there in Tech Systems. You should, for example, whichever company you are getting, I would recommend that you should start wherever you're getting a chance. And if you have a question about startup is better than MNCs, it depends that how you want to take your career. Okay, for example, I took my career from my start. For example, I thought that startup would be giving me much projects I'll be working on in startups, so I for example, that's why I joined startup. Okay, so that's not that this company was not good or this company was not worthy. It was not the case for me. Yes, so I joined startup because it was my personal choice, and I thought that startup will be giving me much more projects. Yes, thank you, sir. Yeah. Yes, so it was my personal choice that I went for startup. MNCs are equally good. You should go for MNCs. MNCs are, for example, Infosys, TCS, and these Accenture. These are very good companies. I would say that you should join if you're getting offer from there. You should not leave that offer. Okay. Yes. So Sanskar is asking, in DBMS, which are now more in demand, SQL or NoSQL? As in our syllabus, we have only studied about SQL DBS. Okay, so it depends, Sartha. It depends, Sanskar. So, for example, in my third or fourth year, I knew only about SQL. Okay, so, and knowing about SQL, I was selected knowing these SQL queries also. So, but now scenarios are different. You should know about SQL and NoSQL both. Okay, it's not mandatory that you should know about NoSQL, but it will give you an upper hand. Okay, because now technologies are because more companies and more projects are being NoSQL based. Okay, but it doesn't mean that SQL is nowhere. It's not the case. SQL is also being used by many of the companies. Okay, so Arpan Sahu, not percentage questions. I meant to say that in written exams, what is the proportion of aptitude questions in written exams? Okay, sorry, I misinterpreted. Yes, so the proportion of aptitude questions in written exams. So yes, so aptitude questions were, for example, if you could remember, 50. For example, if you if you have 100 questions, right? 50 questions or 30 to 40 questions were aptitude based. Okay, so we have high percentage of high proportion of aptitude questions in written exams. Okay, so you should prepare for aptitude questions. So why aptitude questions are important? For example, you should know that aptitude is basically that mathematical skills they're asked about, and what is the logic building ability. For example, if you see every question you solve in HackerRank or HackerEarth, right? So these are basic aptitude and logic thinking questions. So that's why they test for aptitude questions. Okay, so you should prepare that. You should solve these logic building questions, and you should solve these aptitude questions. Yes. Yes, thanks guys for connecting. Yes, so we have one more question. In all the companies or higher package companies too? Yes, in higher companies, for example, if I could tell about this, Amazon also did ask for aptitude questions. Yes, but these if you're asking about Amazon or something, most of the questions were obviously related to coding also, but it was not the case that aptitude questions weren't asked. Okay, so you should prepare for aptitude questions also. Yes, so I have one more question from Sahil. He is asking, I have made project on IoT and now I think I should make projects on any other technology also. What do you recommend? Yes, it's brilliant that you have made one project on IoT. It's brilliant. Yes, if you want to, for example, there is no limitation as such. If you are making 50 projects, if you are making 2 projects, you are making 50 projects, the limitations is there is no limitation as such. It will be it will be benefited for you. For example, if you join in any company, right, it will give you one upper hand that you have hands-on experience on project making. Okay, so I would definitely recommend that if you are thinking like that you should make any other project, you should go for it. Okay, and yes, so Uday Kumar is asking how much algorithms and its implementation based questions are important. Yes, so algorithm based questions are important, equally important, but I would say first you should go for logic building questions, that you should know that how the logic is being how you can solve particular questions in HackerRank and CodeChef if you're confident enough. Yes, so if you're confident enough that you are completed with that, then you can go for algorithms based on this data structure. Okay, yes. And then yes, Muskan Sahu is asking how to make IoT project, and I don't know about IoT. Yes, again Muskan, yes, so it's not the case that I have made an IoT project, that it's not the case that if I have made an IoT project you should also make an IoT project. It's not the case. If you have a specialization, if you're interested, first you should focus on that which technology you have an interest in. For example, you can make a simple website using Python or JavaScript or anything, right? So you should focus on that, how you want to take your career. For example, if you want to make an IoT project, it's the case that you want to make an IoT project, you can start seeking your help from your professors. You can ask any project from them, that they'll give you one project, and based on the project you can google it about that, what is the project, that what should be the process for that, and you should take help from your professors, and then you can take help from Google, that how to proceed for that project, and the Google can tell you everything about it, how to proceed for that project. Okay, so Sahil Sharma is asking about, can you please share your experience of Amazon? Definitely. So I've given my aptitude round in Amazon. So there were basic aptitude questions, and there were questions about algorithms, and there were questions about operating system, there were questions about DBMS, there were questions about everything related to CS stuffs, right? And then after we have this 3 rounds in Amazon. The first round was definitely based on that. The one question they asked me about one scenario. I didn't remember the scenario now, but they were a question in which you need to solve some question. For example, I didn't remember the question, to be honest, I'm sorry for that, but it was, for example, you should have hands-on on algorithms, data structure very very nicely, because this first round of Amazon was not that easy. I won't tell the I won't put you on any dilemma or something. It wasn't easy. Okay, so you should prepare good for Amazon. So you should know everything about algorithms, you should know everything about data structures, you should know everything about the algorithms. And mostly they haven't asked any questions about that, tell me this algorithm, tell me that algorithm. No, they told me one scenario, and based on the scenario I should give one solution for that. So if you go for this Amazon or Flipkart or these companies, they will give you one scenario, and based on the scenario you should complete that solution. You should give the solution of that problem. Okay, so how you use Java in your IoT project? So basically, yes, so basically, if you know about this IoT, right? So in the IoT project we have the sensors. So sensors were giving me the data, and we attach that sensors to one, they were sending the data to the cloud. Okay, so these IoT sensors were sending these data to the cloud, and from the cloud we were getting the data. Okay, so it's up to us that how we can get the data from the cloud. So since I had a specialization in Java, I used Java web service APIs to get that data from the cloud. Okay, so that's why I use Java in my IoT project. Okay, so if you have any doubts also, Himanshu, you can ask based on this how I use Java in our IoT project. Okay, so there were sensors involved in IoT devices, and the IoT devices were sending the data to the cloud, and it's up to us that how we are getting the data from the cloud now, right? So I used Java for getting the data from the cloud, and then based on that data I was publishing that we have created one charts that we were showing the charts based on the data we were showing the charts, different charts, that how the electricity is now, how the electricity is being going, and how much electricity is being utilized now. Okay, yes, so that's where I use Java there. Yes, so if you have any questions you can ask. Okay, yes, so hi Muskan, so you are asking how do I learn cloud. Okay, so for example, in my graduation, like I completed my four year of graduation in LNCT, I didn't learn about cloud there. Since I'm working in Techolution and my designation is cloud native developer, I got a chance to work I got a chance to work and learn about cloud in my company only. So there I completed my AWS Association Cloud certificate there. So they told me about this AWS. Since I knew that what is AWS Cloud and GCP in my graduation also, but I didn't complete any courses during my graduation related to cloud. Okay, so and then since I'm working in a company in Hyderabad, then I got to get a chance to do some certification in cloud. Okay, so Adarsh is asking how many marks should we secure to clear written of any company. So you should focus, for example, you should focus on you should complete at least 60 to 70% of the questions. Okay, so you should focus on max yes, sorry, yeah. So how many marks should we secure to clear written of any company? Yes, so you should focus on 60 to 70% questions. Okay, yes. Yes, sorry guys if I have missed any of the questions, but I have tried enough to complete all the questions. If I've missed any, you can ask me in the comment. Yes, so I would recommend yes, so it's my advice to you that what I would recommend is first go for basics, data structure, DBMS, operating system, this networking. We have this networking subject was there in the syllabus, right? So you should complete that basic subjects, and then if you're confident enough that you know these basic subjects, then you should go for technologies like AI, ML, and then you can go for cloud. Okay, and then you can make any project based on your specialization technology. Okay, so these I would recommend after you know the basics. Okay, so anything special you mentioned in your resume which you think made the difference? Yes, there was something special. Something special was for example, I told you my experience that I nearby put my resume in around 200 to 500 companies in startups. They were not MNCs or something. I put my resume there. I've posted my resumes to 200 to 500 companies, and then I got a chance to do the internship. If you have done the internship, definitely that makes a difference, right? So you should you should apply for the internships in startups, nimble startups, anywhere around. Okay, so it doesn't matter that it's a MNC or something. You should apply for the this internship, and you should make projects. Projects and internships were the things I mentioned, and that made a difference, that I can really say. Yes. Yes, and one more thing, one more question I have, Abhay Tiwari. Ma'am, what is the role of projects in placement? Definitely there is a role of placement. For example, I won't say that projects, if you mention the projects, that's the guarantee that you will get the placement, but it's good for you, right? For example, if you're making any project, it will give you hands-on experience that how the work is being done in MNCs, right? And if you're making any project, you will develop, you will get motivated, you will be occupied in some of the technologies. You will be spending much more time in coding. You will be spending much more time in IT sector. You will be spending much more time in computer science field, right? So that's what projects play a role in placement, right? So the role is simple. Much more practice you do, the more knowledge you will get, right? So you should not focus on theoretical things or something like that. You should practice, you should give hands-on experience, you should do the experiments, you should make projects, and you should get the knowledge. Okay, so that's the only role. So ma'am, what should be our main focus? Means IoT project or certification in coding and workshops. Okay, so I'll complete it one by one. So since many of the people are mentioning IoT projects, it's not the case that IoT project you should make. It's not the case. I'm telling you my experience that I made one IoT project because I participated in Smart City Hackathon and I selected a IoT project. Okay, so that's why I made a project related to IoT. Okay, and apart from that, certification in coding and workshop, I'll come to that point, that if you're confident, Rohan, I expect that you're confident enough that you have basic idea of DBMS, DS, OS and everything, right? And then you are asking these questions. So certification is, for example, if you're going for certification, go for AWS certification if you can do. AWS certification is good, and workshops are also good. Workshops are also good because in workshops you are trained that how the projects are being made, right? So you should go for workshops, and Udemy courses are good, and any certification is good until and unless you are learning something from there. Okay, and spending money, you should spend money on something you are confident enough that you will be gaining something from that certification. Okay, so I've mentioned some of the certification, like AWS certification is very nice, if I could recommend, and this Udemy courses are also very nice. We have this brilliant brilliant courses of front end, back end, or cloud, or we can say that AI, ML things. We have brilliant courses in Udemy. Okay, and you should focus more on projects, and then certifications, and then your what we can say that, yeah, these two things are enough. If we mention certificates of languages from like Neptil, would it help it? And definitely it will help. Neptil certificates are of they play a good role. Okay, so is it training compulsory for placement? Well, this question, training, for example, if you're doing any internship, that is also fine. If you're not doing any internship, training is compulsory. If that's what I can say. Training, for example, the training is not that training should be like, if you're participating in training, you should give your 100% there. It's not the case that you should rely on the teachers or you should rely on the professors that they'll guide you on that. Okay, so you should from your part you should give your 100%. You should, whatever you're learning in the training, you should learn yourself, and you should Google it yourself that what they're teaching you, and based on that you should make any project based on that training. Okay, so you should that's what I can say about. So it's not compulsory, but yes, if it's better that you should you are doing any training or internship. So Sahil is asking, since when did you started your placement preparation? Yes, I already told Sahil that I started yes, I was interested in coding. So most of the time I have given my second year, third year and fourth year, 3 years I have given to it. Yes, 3 years I have given to it. Okay. Sorry. So Subhanshu is asking, from where you do AWS certificate? AWS certificate, there is nothing. We have, for example, we have this AWS certification program, right? So if you go there and if you see the certification program, they will tell you that they will you should. It's a 10,000 rupees course certification, right? I'm not sure about the latest price, but I gave around 10,000 something for the AWS certificate. So I bought one book. If you go to that online or something, you can ask for that. You can search for that AWS certificate, a book which is very much important for it. So you can and also we have this various courses also in Udemy and Coursera. They teach you about AWS. Okay, so you can search for it in Udemy or Coursera. So you will get every courses in this Udemy or Coursera about AWS, ML, AI, everything you will get it. Okay. So ma'am, I am asking about IoT training. Yes. Yes, I'm telling. Yes, I've told you about IoT training also. IoT training, like you're telling that which are asked in our institution, right? That training you're asking about. Yes, so if you're asking about this IoT training that are asked in our institution or our college, I would say that it's better that you should do that IoT training. Okay, because any training is not that, it's not that you attend the training and you won't get anything. Definitely, if you participate in the training, you definitely get to learn many more things. Okay. So Pankaj is asking, I'm not much more interested in coding, so what can I do to get placement? Okay, so since you're not much more interested in coding, so yes, it's a very good question, I could say. So if you're not interested in coding, you should try for DevOps things. For example, you should try your expertise in cloud, or you can try this data analytics, where there is not much coding involved. You can try for this AL, you can try for this machine learning. These are many new technologies, and they're very much interesting, I could say. Aman Kumar, he's asking, what is the name of the book? Yes, so for example, I went for this Udemy courses. I went for Udemy. In the Udemy, I completed that course for AWS certification. So we have different books. You can find it in Flipkart or something. I went for Udemy course. Okay. So since one of my colleague, he was telling me that he went through the book. He purchased one book online. So you can search online that what is the best book for AWS. I personally went for Udemy courses, and I also recommend that Udemy courses is worth doing if you're going for AWS certification. Okay. So Sahil Sharma, he's asking what are the other projects that you mentioned in your resume. So apart from IoT project, I didn't mention. For example, I mentioned one project that I completed during my internship. Okay. So yes, so I complete since I was doing one internship in my company called Capital Float in Bangalore, right? So there I was doing one project, and that project I mentioned. Yes, yes, I got one question. How to prepare for placement, non-IT branch? Okay, so that's a very good question for non-IT branch. I have recommended one site, that is Geeks for Geeks. You should go for that website. That's very good for both IoT people and non-IT branch people. Okay, so I would really recommend Geeks for Geeks. I'm just commenting the name of the site. I know many people will be aware of that. Yeah, so this is a site which I have given most of my time to. So this site is very good for, let's say, non-IT branch people also and IT branch people also. Okay. Yes, so are you guys preparing from this Geeks for Geeks, and do you like this website? Have you gone through this website? Because this website is very much this website is very good, because you get a chance to solve algorithm question, you got a chance to solve questions of data structures, and you got every interview questions from there. Okay, and you can get interview questions of big companies like Amazon. Interview questions are there, and different every question is there in this Geeks for Geeks site. Okay, so are you practicing in this site? Yes, so I have one more question from Aman. He's asking, do we write Udemy and Coursera courses and resume? Yes, definitely. Any course you do, the only thing I would say, if you're doing any course, give your 100% and then only mention in the resume. Okay, so yes, so yes, you can mention your Udemy and Coursera courses in your resume. Definitely, you can mention. Yes, I got a reply from Muskan that she is practicing in Geeks for Geeks. It's very good that you're practicing, and I would recommend everybody to practice on Geeks for Geeks. And also, you should go for any courses after you are done with your basics. First, do the basics, and then if you think that basics are done, you should apply for your internship, or you should go for any courses. Okay, these things I would recommend. Yes, I think mostly I've completed all the questions. If I could see, I've completed most of the questions. So I'll be taking the final. I'll be doing some of the last. I'll be taking your few minutes more. So I'll be telling that this was my experience, and I've participated in most of the coding rounds because I was very much interested in coding, and I've given my 3 years time in this coding. So I was very much interested, and then After that, after this coding, I have participated in various competitions also. For example, the Smart City hackathon. I have participated in many coding rounds, many hackathons. I have participated in Hacker Earth also. So yes, and apart from that, yes, I have one more question. He's asking, can you mention courses of Udemy that do not include certification? Can you mention courses? Yes, we have many courses in Udemy. For example, we have this. If you're interested in front end means if you're interested in designing, you're interested in back end, you're interested in AL, or you're interested in machine, what we can say, that machine learning, artificial intelligence. We have many courses in Udemy. Okay, so I have one more question. Sahil is asking, any specific tutorials you would recommend? Tutorials, though, I won't recommend any, because I haven't paid much. I haven't given any time to tutorials. Yes, so ma'am, yes, I have one more question to from Rohan. He's asking, ma'am, my branch matter for a placement in companies? That's not true. If you're from EC background or if you're from EX background, it doesn't matter. If you have skills, definitely you will be selected. Okay. Yes, so Adarsh, we have a question from Adarsh. He's asking, if I have completed NEPTEL courses but not more confident, then we should mention in resume not. So definitely, if you're not confident enough, you should not mention it. Okay, because anything you mentioned, you should be 100% sure of. Okay. So the basic conclusion what I could say is, first complete your basics, then go for internships. Apply for as many internships you can, and while applying, you should do any courses, you should make projects. You should pick one specialization, work on that specialization, make any projects on that specialization, and apply for internships, and simultaneously, if you have time, go for courses or something like that. Okay. So you should choose your priority. For example, you should create your own priority, that what is important for you. Are courses important for you? Is internship important for you? Is this what we can say, project is important for you? Okay, you should, and how this, you should know from where you will know that what is your priority. It comes from your interest, right? If you're interested in coding, definitely you will think that I should do an internship. If you're not interested in coding, then you can think that, yes, I'm not interested in coding, then I can take up courses, then I can go for courses, right? So you can think by your interest, that what is your interest and what drives you. Okay. And yes, I have one more question from Adarsh. She's asking, if I have completed NEPTEL courses but not more confident, then we should mention in resume or not? Yes, so Adarsh is saying that if you're not definitely, I'm saying that if you're not confident, you should not mention it in the resume. Okay. Yes, so thanks, Sahil. Yes, so thanks guys for connecting, and all the best for your ventures, the placement ventures you'll be going through. Only thing I would recommend is do much more practice you can in HackerRank, CodeChef. Make many projects you can make. Give your time in coding, give your time in projects, pick one specialization, work on that specialization, give your 100% to that specialization, make interest, develop interest, get yourself motivated. Okay, because motivation and interest is the thing which can drive you throughout your career. Because if you are working also in your IT company, what most matters is interest. If you have interest, you can go anywhere. Okay. Yes, so thank you guys for this, and I hope I have completed most of the questions which I can that I have tried to complete most of the questions, and I think I've completed many of the questions, and almost every question I've answered. And if you have a question, I could take the last questions from you. Yes. Okay, thank you guys. All the best for your future ventures, and do your best, and don't panic. it's not a situation that you won't be selected. Most of the I could really guarantee that 60 to 70 people will be placed if you give time to your basics, if you give time for your if you give time for your coding skills, if you give time for your projects. Okay. Yes, thank you guys. I think there are no much questions right now, so I'll be finishing up the session. Okay, thank you guys, have a nice day.